Hey, welcome to We the Variables, where today X equals what the hell is going on in Minneapolis. We're sure you've seen the headlines about the defunding, dismantling, and disbanding of the police force. That's where we're going to start. These words have been used interchangeably, which has many people kind of confused and a little bit, just a little bit misinformed. But don't worry, we did the research. Basically, as seen in this quote by Councilman Jeremiah Ellison, which states, "We're going to dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department. And when we're done, we're not simply going to glue it back together." The Minneapolis City Council voted to take apart the city's police force. In doing so, the police force will be defunded. Now, you're probably thinking two things. What is the city going to do without a police force, and where is that money going to go? Many people have been talking about the Purge going down in Minneapolis, but fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on your motivations, that absolutely, positively, I promise on your grandmother, on my grandmother, on everyone's grandmother, will not happen. At least for the foreseeable future. My proof? The one and only Minneapolis City Council leader, Lisa Bender. She said, "Yes, we're going to dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department and replace it with a transformative new model of public safety." Emphasis on that last part. The City Council isn't planning to abolish the police force, as confirmed by Lisa Bender in the quote you see on screen. However, the police force, in time, will be made much smaller and will be demilitarized, so no more tear gas, heavy artillery, heavy armor, all those kinds of things. That leaves a bunch of extra money flying around with plenty of other places to go. These places include mental health resources, education, EMTs, the fire department, and social services. Now, why exactly would the money go here? In an interview with CNN, Bender said,
"We've done an analysis of all the reasons people call 911 and have looked at ways we can shift the response away from armed police officers into a more appropriate response for mental health calls, for some domestic violence calls, for health-related issues."
Cities like Austin, Texas, and Denver, Colorado have allowed social workers and medical professionals, such as psychologists, to dispatch for calls regarding mental health. This approach has surfaced because police officers aren't trained to deal with mental health and substance abuse, and many people believe that substance abuse should be considered a health crisis instead of a crime crisis. We expect to see a similar approach in Minneapolis. Now, what could all of this dismantling and defunding look like in practice? Let's take a trip to Camden, New Jersey. In 2013, the Camden police chief fired every single police officer and only rehired them after they completed a 50-page application, psychological testing, and an intense, quote-unquote intense, interviewing process. This weeded out the bad apples and therefore made the police force smaller. The reward system was changed, and the focus on performance based on tickets and arrests was abolished to take away any motivation for the remaining cops to go sour. The police were then stationed on the streets around the city in order to show people that they are there, they are part of the community, and to promote communication between the cops and the citizens. Homicides went down from 67 in 2012 to 25 in 2019, and excessive force complaints went down by 95%. Camden is notably smaller than Minneapolis, but with the added demilitarization and potential focus on social services, these changes might just work. Then again, they might not, and no one fully knows what we'll see in Minneapolis' future. We're just here to inform you on the facts of what is happening now and some possibilities for a realistic future based on the plans of the City Council. Only time will tell us how this will play out. Minneapolis is one city, but with all eyes on them, we might see a totally different kind of policing sweep all across the U.S. in the near future. Let us know your take on this in the comments below. Make sure to follow We the Variables on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, even though no one uses that, and we have a website being built in progress, which will be linked down below. Thank you, and goodbye.